Afternoon. Really nothing new to speak of from last night. There again, we bounced back. It's proud of the guys. It's proud of these coaches. Like I mentioned, and this is great going into last week. It's a good opponent, and we got a chance to play for the postseason.
You talked about it a little bit yesterday, but Dan, win or lose, playoffs or not, just how important has this run been in playing meaningful games in the month of December and January for a young football team like this and the culture that you guys are building to be able to go through this for the future?
I think just like what I said last night, I think it's important to get used to being here because that's what this is where you want to be. You want to be in the you want to be in the thick of it, and you always want to have a chance to get in or have gotten in. And now it's about seeding, everything I talked about last night. And so this has got to be where we're at, and I do think it's very important, and because to get to this point, now, especially for a young team overall, you understand here we are going into week 18 now. There's 17 games in a season, and it's a lot of football. There's a lot of things that can happen. You look at the ebbs and flows of this season and different teams, including us, and, all the hype one way or all the lows one way, and this team's written off and they're back. This team is the greatest thing that's happened in years, and now look at the slide they're on. It's natural. It's been that way for years, and you just got to be consistent and just handle your business. Go to work every week. You got to have a little luck. You do, but you got to be a resilient team, and I think that's got to be part of your foundation, and that's why we put this team together.
I'm sure you treat every week the same, right? This is the same preparation as last week, but just human nature is to recognize the magnitude of it. So how do you make sure players keep that perspective, don't get too high?
We tell them the magnitude. This is big. That's what we do. This is big, and it's going to be fun, and let's go. The intensity is up now. This is a playoff game, and they're going to know that, and so that's how we're going into it.
You talked about him at the end of last week. You said you had higher expectations for Melifano in his second start. What did you think about the way he played?
He was better. I thought he answered the bell. I thought he came in. I think that some of the things he was asked to do was a little different than last week, just the nature of the opponent. However, I did. I thought he answered the bell. I thought he was better. I thought he tried to play more aggressive. Had a pretty big fourth down stop. That was good to see. It was encouraging.
Sean Elliott sounds like he's going to be tough to keep off the field if he has any say in it this week. What is your early expectation for his availability this week?
There again, he wants to go. He's improving, and we're gonna see what he looks like. Let him, hopefully we'll know a lot more tomorrow. But let him hit some sleds, see how the shoulder feels, and then if that's good, go into practice and see if he, just see how it goes really. But we're I know he wants to go, and I know he's improving. So.
And with James Houston, despite having sacks on tape and now teams game planning for him, how is he still making plays, especially yesterday?
Well, look, a lot of that is you get doubled. You get doubled by tight ends. You're working tackles, and yes, you're getting chipped, and a lot of it is just having to go through the process of it. To learn how to defeat the first one in front of you before you get to the next one. But I think it's not only that, it's also his teammates around him. Everybody's got a job to do, and for you to have to work through that, then you're getting pressed from the other side that's getting a one-on-one or something. And so everybody's kind of playing a hand in that. And for him, it's just a matter of he's pretty resilient, he doesn't quit. He goes hard, he is slippery, he's strong. And then it's just a matter of, all right, this is what I can get away with. This is what I got to be careful for. So he's working through, just kind of like Hutch has had to too now. Hutch was getting doubled. He's been getting doubled early or getting chipped, and people are paying attention to that. And I think it's just time on task. But I know it certainly helps when you're wired the right way. Like, he's not going to be discouraged by getting chipped or hit. He wants to win. So, and you got to have that when people notice or identifying that you could be a problem as a rusher.
I know the focus is the team at this point. Obviously, big game coming up this week. But do you feel like Aiden Hutchinson has done enough this year? You look at his stats, what he's been able to do. Do you feel like he's the defensive rookie of the year? I know that's not an accolade or nothing you're probably voting on, but do you think he's done enough that he's the best defensive rookie in the league?
It's hard for me to say, only because I don't, relative to the rest of the league and the other rookies, I'm not sure about that. To answer that, I know I know as far as us picking him and for what we wanted him for, he's everything we wanted, man. I mean, this guy's a football player, and with the number 2 pick in the draft, we get a football playing dude, man, who's high motor and he's versatile as hell. And so I don't know what that is. You've asked me to cast a vote. Yeah, I would cast a vote, but I don't know all the ins and outs of everybody else. But for our value, absolutely.
Dan, with Okudah, is there something you've seen on film since his illness that has resulted in his decreased workload?
No, I would say it's there's a couple of things last week we talked about. I thought he came out ready to work. It was always about getting Mike Hughes more plays. I mean, Mike earned his right to play now too. So, and Okudah took some gunner reps for us because Mike was going to play more on the outside than probably Jeff was. And so they both played. No, Jeff's good. He's helping us, man. He's contributing.
And how much, if at all, does it matter that your game with the Packers is the same time as Seattle's game with the Rams, just for everyone to sort of know what's at stake, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I can't worry about that. We can't worry about it. For us, it's got to be a win-win either way. Either we're playing to get in or we're playing to be spoiler, and that's it. So either way, we win.
Coach, how much does John Kaminsky fly under the radar compared to the other big names we're always talking about, and then how valuable has he been to this defense?
Kamish?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very important, and really, I feel like I said this earlier. When we lost him for that period of time, it did affect us, because there's a lot of things that he does that go unseen from the outside. I think there's a number of things when it comes to our stunt games and setting up our rush patterns that he is kind of our point guy on a little bit, if you will. He's highly intelligent. Certainly he's high motor. He is aggressive, but I think he's a little bit of that glue for those guys up front, and so he's very important. He plays the run. I mean, he's as good as anybody we got setting an edge in the run game. So he's kind of a vital part of what we are up front defensively.
Dan, when you look at the Packers' 4-game winning streak and they're averaging 30 points, you assume maybe Rodgers is going off, but really the numbers are, I think, a touchdown per game in those 4 wins, nothing over 250 yards. So what's going so well in Green Bay right now? What's carrying them to this point where they're also playing to get into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think that they're playing complementary football. They're they got a good special teams unit, which you saw that yesterday. That helped them out. Defensively, I feel like they've been playing good football all year, and I know there's arguments about that. They when we played them, they've been playing good football, and and Coach Berry's done a great job over there, man. And so we already know that defense is stiff, and they're talented, and they're strong. And I don't have to get into Clark and those guys again. I mean, I think he's a hell of a football player. But anyway, this defense it's a good defense. It's a very good defense. The special teams, man, you saw it. I mean, they have the ability to make plays in their return game. And then offensively, they're playing better. They are. I mean, and we talked about it as a staff. This is a better football team than we played the first time, And then you got Aaron Rodgers, who's, we all know, I mean, he's one of the best, man, one of the best to ever play the game. And whenever you got that at the quarterback position with that running back and the offensive line, and, they got some young receivers that are coming on. So it's potent, man. But I think more than anything, to get where they're at, they are. All 3 phases are clicking together, and they're all just kind of boosting each other up, and that's why they're a dangerous team right now.
Dan, with that said, how much better of a football team are you guys this time around than when you played them last?
Yeah, we're better too. We're better too. We've made a jump as well. So we're better too. There's no question. But this win kind of started us in the right direction the last time we played them, and we really haven't looked back. So that's why I just think this is one of those games you look forward to being a part of as a player, as a coach. The fans are going to love this. I just think it's great. And I don't know if you could write it any better. It's going to be great.
What is a week like this for coaching staff? I mean, week 18 is always sort of empty in the bag in some ways as it is, but how do you it really gives you a lot of motivation, and this is the one. Look, every week you're trying to give your guys the best plan you can possibly give them. That goes without saying, but this one you want to make sure that you don't leave any stone unturned. I mean, you're looking for every little nugget that's out there potentially, any way that you can find some type of an advantage, and make sure that you give your guys the very best opportunity to have success and maximize your roster versus their roster. So I think it gives everybody a little bit of extra energy and juice, if you will.
Do you feel this team deserves to be on Sunday Night Football? Primetime game for the whole nation?
What do you think? You do? I do too. So, but that's not up for me to decide, But I know we'll put up a hell of a fight one way or another.
Would you rather have that than the 2-4 clocks at 4:25?
Listen, I don't care. I just want to play, So it's coming, and it'll be down the wire, and they'll be there, we'll be there, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be an exciting game.
Do you plan to have your team in pants again this week?
We're done. We don't have any more. We used up the last one last week.
Playoffs?
Say it again.
Do you get any extra?
You do.
Okay.
You do. Yeah, you can use them. So we'll probably just, I don't know what we do. We may just wear shorts and nothing else this week. Just change it up.